All right, I have finished the second agent for the Automation Fast Track Challenge titled the Proposal Agent. This agent speeds up your sales process. Once you have a call with a customer and it's a sales call or a closing call, you get the notes, you transcribe the notes from the meeting, and it automatically generates a proposal slide deck for you to review and then send to the customer. The purpose of this automation is to speed up the time, or to shorten the time between talking with them in person and sending a proposal. Many times, people want the proposals quick. They want a quote as soon as possible so they can make the decision as soon as possible. And if you can give it to them sooner, you can be first on their mind when they're considering your service. So this proposal, this automation itself, it only has one flow, one automation, instead of the 4 in the sales agent, but it has a lot more steps. And the steps are that they go from all the way to receiving the transcript from the call to sending the proposal to you for review, sending a completed proposal slide deck to you for review. So let's look at the demonstration. Now let's walk through what's required to make this proposal agent work. First off is the CRM. We saw this last week where it lists out the people that I can contact. This one particularly, I am meeting with myself from Statler Consulting. So this you need to have in the CRM, and then it'll update some of these columns. Next, you need to have a template. This specific one was given by Nate Herc as part of the fast track, but a template for what your standard proposal will look like. I think so you would include your information there instead of theirs. I would include my information there instead of theirs. But this is a template that you need to fill out what you can. Then you need a call transcription software. What I used is I got a Google Workspace under Statler Consulting, and they let you put Gemini in meetings. So then once you have the call, Gemini will transcribe and summarize the call and send you an email with the output. As you can see, that's the email that I get. It's from Gemini Notes at google.com, which is fantastic. And the actual notes themselves are here. Now, the call that I had wasn't the greatest, right? Because I'm not actually doing a whole lot right here. But normally in one of these calls, you would have you would talk about the timeline. You would talk about all the things that you have in the template here. Title, description. You would talk through bottlenecks. In fact, you could use this template as your agenda for the meeting to make sure that you cover everything. Once you have that, once you have the meeting, you get the notes to the transcript and the summary, and this Gmail trigger will kick off. So it will look for the email that was sent, and it'll take a second. So let's go ahead and let it work. All right, the workflow just finished. You can see all these check marks. So let's see what it did. First off, in the CRM, we can see that this was updated to the sales transcript ID here, and the proposal is here. So what does a proposal look like? This was generated in just a couple seconds. This information matches mostly what I put in the meeting. And this is something that I want to highlight here. The meeting I had with myself was terrible. It did not include all of these things. It did not include everything that was needed to be in here. So a lot of people look at automation and they say, oh, I can just automate it and it will fix all of my work. And that's not necessarily the case. Automation and AI needs a lot of guidelines. And if you don't have guidelines, you won't get the results you need. Like here. So this, granted, this is a long way, this is quicker than it would be just by myself, right? Sorry, let's see, what am I trying to look at? Another reason that I want to bring this up is because this sent me an email with the generated proposal, so I can make any changes that I want. And this is vital, because if you don't make the changes, and you don't review it before, even with the items that were filled in correctly, like you want to move this, right? So that it works. So all of this is necessary to get a good proposal out, right? So this can get you a lot of the way there. And then the more that you do this, the better your meetings will be. The more that you'll be like, okay, I need to talk about this in the meeting to make sure that I'm covering this, make sure that the AI extracts this. So let's take a look a little bit at the specific details of what works here. So we mentioned earlier, once you get the email, this Gmail trigger will identify that you got the email and trigger this workflow. And we got the document ID, and some of these things you need a little bit of regex for, a little bit of code. This is pretty straightforward, but you will need to add a couple of those things in here just to make sure that you're working with it. So while you might not need a heavy amount of code, N8N is a low code to no code environment, you'll still need a little bit. You get the document, download it, extract it, clean up the transcript, because when you extract it, the formatting isn't great. You'll get the lead info from the CRM, then you'll check, is it a sales call or a closing call? You'll do that. If the transcript ID in the CRM is empty, it's a closing call. And then you'll extract the information from the document, copy the file, replace the text in the proposal here, send the proposal for review and edits, and update the row and sheet. Now the AI part here, this is, if I can, right. So there's a lot of different parts of the proposal here that have brackets. The reason for that is so that we can replace those brackets with words. But we need to tell our AI solution here what to look for all the words. It extracts those into variables that we then put into the text in the proposal, and we're good. So that is the proposal agent. Useful for processing a call really quickly. I spent some years as an auditor, and having walkthrough calls is really frustrating. So this is helpful. Not just for proposals, but for anything that requires having a call and then documenting what happened in the call. As an auditor, I do that a lot, and so I'll be using this type of workflow for my audit work as well. But of course, it helps with proposals, so hopefully it's useful for you. Now, my experience building this agent differed a little bit from the sales agent. In the sales agent, when we built that, things worked a bit better. This proposal agent took a bit more time to work, mostly in the sense of getting the transcript to my email, which is valuable. Don't get me wrong. Having an automated transcription of a call is so vital. It's so important. But then working with that to create a proposal, I thought that was fascinating. And I mentioned a little bit before, but this kind of template of an automation where you get an email and that triggers an automation to run and do something is so vital. Maybe vital, so important, so powerful. There we go, so powerful. Because we get emails all the time. The business world runs on emails. And if you can process those in an automated way, that is huge. So it was interesting. I enjoyed learning the extract information node that we used. But the other lesson that I also mentioned before was having templates. Having templates is so important because it guides the AI, guides the automation for where you want to go. Earlier in this challenge, Nate mentioned that about what is it, 60-20-10, I think is what it was, where 60% of processes could just be automated. If you have sufficient templates, that's enough. You don't always need AI if you have a good enough template. In this one, we didn't even use AI to replace the text. We used AI to extract the text from the summary, but as far as actually putting the text in the proposal, that was automation. No AI involved. So for me, the lesson I took from this was to have templates. So how does that relate to you? Or how does it relate to me? In my actual job, I'm starting putting templates together for everything. when somebody asks me, oh, can you draft these test steps? Because that's what we do as auditors. Can you draft draft the control description? I'm like, okay, so let's put together a template that I can use for this, but also, as soon as I get access to Copilot, I'll start using that with Copilot as well, and having AI help me to draft a lot of things. So it's been interesting. Phenomenal course. Would recommend. So see you next week.